Welcome to the Old Soul Podcast. This is episode 14. If you wish, you can learn more about me and catch up on previous episodes at www.oldsoul.blog. And if you want to be notified of new postings, just click the subscribe button. Simple. I'm a little tardy getting this episode to air because I've been on holidays. The blog upon which it is based was published on November 13, but I hope it will be relevant still. It's titled On Building a Legacy. Does the person create the journey, or does the journey create the person? That was the question posed by a TV ad for Louis Vuitton some years ago. The ad depicted people travelling through exotic locations, misty forests, bustling cities, sparkling seas, dusty deserts, meandering motorways. And it concluded with that question: does the person create the journey, or does the journey create the person? It's a profound question, and one that has particular relevance for me as I sit in my caravan on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. I'm in a reflective mood, due partly to the travel and to the gentle patter of the rain on the caravan roof, but due also to the conjunction of a range of recent global and personal events. The celebration of All Saints' Day on November 1. The outcome of the USA presidential election on November 6. The marking of Remembrance Day on November 11. Watching the Thanksgiving service for the life of a long-term family friend on November 12. And then, of course, the approaching 4th anniversary of my father's death. The question that emerges for me from that eclectic mix is about the building of legacies. Life is a journey. A wondrous journey that brings a variety of opportunities and experiences and engages us in a multiplicity of relationships and networks. The way we travel that journey, how we deal with the ups and downs, the twists and turns, how we treat those we meet along the way, determines to a large extent the degree to which our life is fulfilling for us and meaningful to others, the degree to which our life matters. Some people tromp through life with little awareness of the things around them and little regard for the people they encounter. Others tread more gently, savouring the beauty of creation, nurturing relationships, treating other people with respect, and paying attention to the myriad mysteries along the way. In this podcast, I want to encourage you to affirm that it does matter how you make the journey, to reflect on the grace and generosity of those with whom we take that journey, and to consider, without being too morbid, the legacy you are building. How will you be remembered when you are gone? Well, I'm at an age where I do find myself wondering about how I'll be remembered. Not so much about what accomplishments might be memorable, but rather about what character traits and qualities my family and friends will recall about me. What will they say about me when I'm gone? Well, I know how I would like people to remember me. There's that list of the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians 5:22 that would be quite acceptable. Love, joy, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. But I know that this is not always how people experience me. In fact, I know all too well that sometimes people experience me in ways I hope they don't remember. But then that's okay too, because I am who I am. I remember hearing the former Bishop of Sale, a man named Arthur Jones, say that at the age of 85, he had finally come to the point in life where he could affirm that he was who he was meant to be. I thought, what a great place to be, and I wondered what I might need to do to get to that point in my own life. Then he went on and explained that it had little to do with age or change or goal setting, and everything to do with coming to the realization that at every stage of his life, he was who he was meant to be. Not the end product, but simply the person he was. And that was who he was meant to be at that point in time. Thinking about the saints I have known and loved, I see this is true. They were simply who they were. They weren't perfect. They were just themselves, and I loved them for it. The people I admire most and learn from most are those who feel free to simply be themselves, who are comfortable in their own skin, who recognize their flaws and foibles, and are on a continuing journey of formation. Sometimes we try too hard to be who or what we think we should be. Let it go. Just relax and be you. It is enough, and it is good. Sure, we'll stuff up sometimes, but that's who we are. We're human, we're imperfect, and that's okay. Of course, how we deal with the stuff-ups, how we learn from them and recover from them, how we resolve the implications of them does matter. But we do not need to be defined by the stuff-ups. We can acknowledge them, be informed by them, and move on to be who we really deeply are. And who is that? Well, as I've stated previously, it's my belief that we are essentially people formed in the image of the Creator Spirit. People in whom a spark of that Spirit is deeply embedded. And even more, that by grace, that Spirit is working with and within me to the extent that I am open to it to help form me into a person who just might come to reflect those fruits of the Spirit. I sort of like to think that I might be remembered for at least some of those things. Yes, I'll have moments when I know that I've not been true to my own prayers, to my own yearnings, moments when the qualities of the Spirit are lost amidst words like, "You're a dickhead, umpire." But then the Spirit deep within me will quietly and gently remind me that that is not who I want to be. And together, the Spirit and me, we'll get on with the job of building a beautiful legacy. How will I be remembered? What will people say about me when I'm gone? Well, thankfully, the jury is still out on that question because the journey is ongoing. But despite the obvious flaws, I think it's going okay. And I'm pretty confident that that's true for you too. Well, you can leave the podcast there if you like. But if you have another 7 minutes or so, you may like to share in the reflective practice that follows. Find a comfortable location and position, and take a few deep breaths to centre your being before you begin. I'll lead us through the practice, but of course you can stop and start the recording whenever you like if you want to move at your own pace, pausing, breathing, attending to the thoughts and feelings that come and go whenever you feel to do so. Now let us begin. Take a few deep breaths in and out. In and out. In and out. And then let your breath settle into its regular relaxed pattern. Call to mind some of the people, living or dead, who have been significant in your life. You may dare to proclaim them as your saints, and to affirm again that they matter to you. These are the people whose love, acceptance, and encouragement you treasure. These are the people whose resilience, grace, and courage you honour. These are the people whose spirit lives on through the influence they have had upon you. Bring these people to mind. Hold their names in your heart. Perhaps even dare to speak their names aloud. If it is feasible and appropriate, you may like to light a candle or hold a symbol as their names come to mind. Sit for a moment and feel yourself surrounded by these, your saints. And now bring your focus to one of the people you have been holding in your heart, one of your personal saints. Picture them. Thank them for all they have contributed to your life. Listen to what they might be saying to you. Send love and kindness their way as you continue to hold them in your heart. Repeat this process for as many of your saints as you feel appropriate. The experience and expression of gratitude is good for the soul. So take a moment before you conclude to simply bask in gratitude. For whom or what are you grateful on this day? What are the things about yourself for which you can be grateful? What within you might others be grateful for? Allow the experience and expression of gratitude to wash over you. Don't question or second-guess your impulsive movement toward gratitude. Simply accept it and receive it. Don't judge or evaluate your gratitude in any way. Simply experience it and express it. To those who come to mind and to yourself, as you give thanks for simply being who you are. Allow yourself time for a few more deep breaths before concluding this practice.
Well, that's it for this podcast. Thanks for sticking it out to the end. I do hope you found it worthwhile. Incidentally, if you prefer to read rather than listen, you can find the text of this podcast, along with a host of other resources, at www.oldsoul.blog. And do subscribe if you would like to be notified of future presentations. This is David Brooker, and I look forward to catching you next time.